Romans chapter 1, verse 16, the Apostle Paul, speaking to the intellectual elite in Rome, says this, I am not ashamed of the gospel, for it's the power of God unto salvation to everyone who believes, to the Jew first, then to the Greek. The key word in this verse is the word gospel, and that means Jesus. Jesus is the good news. Jesus is the gospel. And what we've been asserting is that Jesus can meet every basic need of your life and in your life. And so therefore, we're talking today, and as we did last week and will next week, that Jesus meets your need for change. Listen to this. Jesus is able to work in your life regardless of the amount of faith you have or how difficult your circumstances are. In John chapter 5, we read last week and we'll read again today the following. Sometime later came one of the Jewish feast days, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. There's in Jerusalem near the sheep pens a pool surrounded by 5 arches, which has the Hebrew name of Bethesda. Under these arches, a great many sick people were in the habit of lying. Some of them were blind, some lame, some had withered limbs. They used to wait there for the moving of the water, for at certain times, their tradition said, an angel used to come down into the pool, disturb the water, and then the first person who stepped into the water after the disturbance would be healed of whatever he was suffering from. One particular man had been there and been ill for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there on his back, he was a cripple. Knowing that he had been like that for a long time, he said to him, do you want to get well? Do you want to get well? Now notice, here's the man, 38 years, on his back, a cripple, probably feeling rather hopeless. So Jesus says to him, do you want to get well? Sir, replied the sick man, I haven't got anybody to put me into the pool when the water is all stirred up. While I'm trying to get there, somebody else gets in front of me. So the man is almost, in a sense, he's kind of throwing a pity party here. One of the things I've always said about pity parties, if you throw a pity party and send out the invitations, probably nobody's going to come but you. Now, I'm not sure. You know, he's in a tough situation here. He could even be, you could almost read in here, he's blaming other people. But nonetheless, he's asked by Jesus, do you want to get well? You know, some people don't want to get well, if you're honest about that. Because when you get well, first of all, the sympathy is going to stop. Number 2, you have to take on responsibility. Number 3, you're going to have to change. And so, you know, we so often maybe want to lay back and keep getting the sympathy and not taking on the responsibility and not having to change. Before God will do anything, I believe, in our lives, my life or your life, we have to want him to do it. He's not going to barge his way in and manipulate us. Jesus is looking for your wanter. So here's the question as we close today. What is one area of your life you don't think could ever be changed? One. And are you willing to stop for a moment and say to the Lord, Lord, here it is. I want you to change this area, this thing in my life. You think about that and then talk to him about that.